Hey, what's up, VC? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel. Time for another quick metal update. In the background, we got Black Label Society, the Blessed Hell Ride. That's one of the albums I picked up as part of the Best Buy sale earlier this year. That one's on white vinyl, as you can kind of see in the camera there. This is going to be a quick metal update. I just have a few records, 4 or 5 records to go over that I picked up this week, I think. Hang on, let me look right here real quick. Just make sure there's not one in here I forgot about. No, okay. Yeah, just these 4 or 5 records. I will actually have a very large metal update probably next weekend. There was a member of the vinyl community that was selling some stuff on the YouTube vinyl community sell page or buy and sell page. And I had let them know I want to buy 1 record, and just kind of in passing mentioned or asked them to let me know if they had any metal for sale. They asked me what I was looking for, and that turned into about a half-hour conversation and about 20 albums that I bought. So those should be coming in the mail in the next few days, and then I will do probably a 2-part metal update to go through some of those. And all you guys will love that one, because there's some really good stuff in this collection. I was really stoked and actually pretty amazed, not just with the prices. They gave me some really good prices, but a lot of it's really good albums that you don't run across that often. Especially, I mean, they're in like new condition. So, well, all but one of them. And that one is a Waylon Jennings album. So I won't even be going over that in the update. So let's just jump into it. These are from a mix of places. These first couple are from an antique mall that I go to every once in a while. They have a big vinyl booth at this antique mall, and I don't generally go through it. There's a couple areas sections that I'll hit. It's not set up very well. It's set up in the shelves and the large IKEA shelves, and it's completely full, and because of the way they have it set up, it's a pain in the ass to go through. So there could be gems there, but to spend the hours going through it and the hassle of having to pull out the records, and I mean, it's one thing in your own collection where you know what you have, you know where it's at, and when you want something you just grab it because it's in order, but looking through an entire collection that way is a nightmare. So I flipped through it. I didn't find much. I was about to leave and decided to do one quick walk through the mall. I know there's a couple other spots that sell vinyl that usually don't have much, but I ended up finding a couple cool albums I was stoked about. So first up was Fair Warning from Van Halen. I think I picked this one up for $4 or $5. It's one that I was missing. So I was pretty stoked to run across that. It's in really good condition. There's a slight scratch on it, but you can't hear it at all when you play it. But anytime you run across Van Halen I'm going to draw a blank. I can't think of his name. With David Lee Roth. Sorry, you got to pick it up. So, man, I drew a blank there for a second. This one I was really happy about because it's a band that I'm a really big fan of, and I just don't run across their stuff that much. You know, I mean, honestly, I could go out and just buy their stuff off of Discogs or off the internet, but I really love looking for the stuff. I'd much rather, unless it's something really rare that I'm just not going to find in the stores. You know, I generally enjoy the search. You know, that's one of the funnest parts of being a vinyl collector. So, but I picked this up. And like I said, I was really, really stoked to find it. Lizzie Borden and Menace to Society. He apparently found it at Goodwill. You can tell by the green sticker, which kind of pisses me off because I have never found one hard rock or metal album at Goodwill. And I go to Goodwill all the time. So I'm kind of jealous that guys are running into stuff like this. I believe, if I remember correctly, this was their 2nd album. This is, again, on Metal Blade Records, which I think is one of the best record labels of the 80s and 90s. They still have some good stuff on there, but I don't think it's comparable to in the 80s and 90s. every single band on Metal Blade was just a really good band. If you saw the Metal Blade label, you could buy that album and it was going to be a killer album. That's not always the case now. So, sorry, it's still in the original shrink for now. It's starting to warp the sleeve, or the sleeve, so that'll be coming out of the original shrink. But so this next one I found in another mall, antique mall. This is an antique mall that I've gotten some really good finds in. I've found some $40, $50 albums there for under 10 bucks. I had found a couple of albums. I don't remember what all I bought off the top of my head, but they had one or two good albums. And I was actually on my way out, and I saw a guy bringing in more records. So he kind of saw the records in my hand and told me to hold up. He had more for me to look through, so I flipped through them. And there were 5 or 6 good hard rock and metal albums. They were all in crappy condition. The one that they had that was in good condition is an original U.S. pressing of Love Gun. Now the original inner sleeve is in there. Unfortunately, the gun is not in there, so I would have really been stoked to have found that, but you know, it is what it is. I didn't have Love Gun on vinyl, so I was really happy to find it regardless of the gun being in there or not. So, but Love Gun for my Kiss collection. And on that note, you know, I posted it on the UTVC, and not related to this album, but today is actually Eric Carr's birthday, or would have been his 64th birthday. For those of you that are familiar with Kiss, he died in '91. I mean, found out he had cancer and died shortly after. So, let's see. These two I found today. So I was on the Atlanta VC page, and saw that they opened a new record store really close to my house. And when I say really close, about 2 miles. Now I can see from the picture it's young kids. It looks like it's their first venture into business. So I decided to check it out. I mean, I could tell looking at it, it was a small place. And when I got there, their record selection was probably about half the size of my actual collection. You know, someday I'll show you the shelf over here. You know, but they probably had about as much as there is on my kind of working shelf over here. And but you know, I could tell from the picture there wasn't much, but they're young kids, and I saw a bunch of punk stuff in the background. And I love punk music. I was hoping to find some metal there too, and I was pleasantly surprised. I got there from the outside; it looked terrible. It's a really ghetto shop. They don't have a sign. They literally have a white piece of poster board in the window with their logo half-assed drawn on there. And then they advertise on their Facebook page that they build custom speakers, and their custom speakers are literally a 2x4 that's about 4 feet tall with a hole drilled in it and a loudspeaker, and it's open in the back. So I used to do custom stereos years ago, so I saw that, and I thought that was completely amusing. I've built custom home stereos. They're not super expensive to build, a really nice high-end system, or a nice high-end set of speakers. But I just found this amusing, and they were asking like $135 for it, so for the set. So, you know, as soon as I walked in, I was like, oh man. But I did find a couple of good albums. I picked up Black Sabbath, Mob Rules, which is one that I've been looking for a long time. This too was still in the shrink, as you can see. I mean, the sleeve is pretty much in mint condition, and that's because it was in the original plastic. I took that off and threw it away because, as with the other record, it was actually starting to warp. You can kind of see it there. So I pulled that out. The vinyl was in really good condition. I just got done listening to it. It sounds great. But again, first U.S. pressing, and I paid $10 for it, so not a bad deal. And I also found a couple of punk albums, which I'll go to in the next video. I'll do a punk update pretty soon here, because I had a really amazing punk find yesterday. So I'm looking forward to sharing that. And then one of the other VC members did a video, and oh, what's Juan's? It's Juan. I can't think of what his I'll figure out. I can't remember what his handle is here in the VC, but I'll get it and I'll put a link down below. You should check him out. He's a younger member of the VC who's into metal, and he did a video a couple of months ago on the band Wolves in the Throne Room, where he played the music in the background and just kind of talked about the band. And I was really, they advertise themselves as, and he called them, a black metal band. They're not black metal. They have more of, well, I shouldn't say that. They're not traditional black metal. They have more of a post-metal sound, their music, but they do kind of black metal vocals with it. So it's a really nice sound. There's a lot of ambience to it, but they do some. I said do. They do again. They do some. Have some black metal. Oh my gosh! I got that second mind. So I picked up their BBC sessions from 2011. This is on Southern Lord Records. They actually have their own label now, and their newest CD is about to come out, I think, in a couple of weeks here. Or it may have just come out. But they did a great job. The packaging, and Southern Lord is great about this, but so are Wolf in the Throne Room. No matter what label they're on, it's always beautiful packaging. This is the black vinyl. They did some splatter vinyl and stuff, which is pretty common with Southern Lord. The inside of the jacket is also black, which I thought was very cool as well. So again, I saw this for $10 and had to pick it up at Best Buy. And that is it for this metal update. Again, next week I will have a large metal update as that stuff comes in, and I look over it. I'm pretty excited about it. My wife was not when she saw the money that I spent. But in all honesty, the albums are worth probably twice what I paid, if not a little bit more. I mean, some of these are $40 albums that I paid $12, $13 for. So it was a really good deal. But I can't wait to share that with everybody next week. So other than that, have a good weekend. I am going to do a punk video going over the finds that I just had, and I'll post that. I don't like posting a bunch of videos one day, so I'll probably post that tomorrow, possibly Monday, but keep a lookout for that. Other than that, guys, keep on headbanging.